Hi. Do you want to know why so many of us struggle with social anxiety? It's because we play within an avatar world. So let me explain what I mean. In your lifetime, how many people have you met? How many people have you interacted with and had a relationship with, even if it was just fleeting, for a few moments? The cashier at the grocery store, the person serving you at a restaurant, a casual acquaintance. There are literally hundreds, maybe thousands, or maybe tens of thousands in a lifetime of people you meet. And one of the interesting things is that you never give a person who you are honestly. What you do is you create a short-term, short-lived avatar. And therein lies the problem, because you're not one person, you're like 10,000 things. And when you're out in the social space, you have to go through this codex, this Rolodex of who you are. And think about this. You meet with somebody you haven't met before, and you have to assume that they have a perception of you, and then you try to match their perception of you with how you were when you first interacted. And this has got to be really confusing to the unconscious mind, because we do this with every single person we meet. And I think it puts a lot of pressure on our psyche, because we don't get to be this word of authentic or our true self. And I wish I kind of knew how to properly define that, what our true self is. But it's a struggle. You can imagine that throughout your day at work, you're going about your day with your children, you're getting groceries at the store, you're going to kids' sports. Every single human being that you interact with has a perceptual value of you. And within your mind, within your person, is an expression. Let me try and say this properly. Every time you go out about your day, every person you meet has a previous perception of who they think you are. And when you meet up with them, your unconscious mind is flipping through this history in your memory of who you think they think you are. Do you get that? And so it's confusing when you're not authentic. It's confusing when you're creating an avatar every time you have a relationship. And it's difficult to go about our lives being truly who we are, because there's very few people that really know who we truly are, right? Your spouse, maybe, if you have a great relationship, your parents, a couple of your close friends who've been by your side for a long time. And even then, you hold things back from everybody. Nobody really expresses who they truly are, because it'd probably be terrifying. It'd probably be really hard to go out and have people who really verifiably accept you for every nuance and every characteristic of your personality. So we are walking avatars, and we have this massive index of who we should be based on who we're interacting with. Imagine how that explodes your mind inside. And so what's the solution? I don't really know. I'm asking this question out loud because I think about it all the time, but I don't really have a great answer for it. When I come out here and meet up with my horse, this is Lee, he's always who he is. He doesn't pretend anything. He is exactly who he is supposed to be to the world. He shows everybody who he is. It's in his nature, and that's maybe where we're trying to get at, is it's in our nature to be the thing that everybody wants us to be. I think that creates cohesion within a community. I think it allows us to have a social group without being ostracized or stuck in our own solitude. So be careful how you play that game. Be careful how many avatars you put out into the world, because you're not one thing, you're thousands and thousands and thousands of things. And it confuses your mind. Pardon my stutter. It confuses your mind, and it causes great difficulty in social settings. And so is the answer be your true self, be authentic? Those cliche sayings have been beaten to death, and I don't know if that's the truth. But somewhere within this, you gotta sort of start to boil yourself down to one thing. And you got to try and be that one thing wherever you are. And here goes the real punchline. You're going to lose a lot of people if you are who you truly are. You're going to watch your social circle get smaller and smaller and smaller as you become more and more and more of who you are, and you express that publicly out loud. Because if you show up to a social setting wearing a costume, everyone's going to laugh at you. But the costume may be the real authentic you. And everybody's perception is completely different, because you were an avatar in their life, whether fleeting or not. Cheers.